What's going on, guys? We are back with another video, match preview settings. Man United against Aston Villa, and after this long break, Man United are finally back in action, man, and it's about time. You know what I'm saying? Word on the streets is the Man United players aren't happy about the amount of gaps they have in between games, and we can't really complain. You know what I'm saying? We're paying the price for a poor season last year, losing the Europa League final, finishing 15th. Even this year, getting knocked out of like the third round of the League Cup against Grimsby. Can't complain, bro. You get what I'm saying? So these players just have to get on with it and find a way to get Champions League football so they don't find themselves in this situation next year. You know what I'm saying? So can't really have any complaints. This is a big game. Very big game, because Villa are right behind us in fourth. We're third. And I look at teams that are in and around us. Liverpool are playing Tottenham. You should expect Liverpool to absolutely demolish Tottenham, because they're poor right now. They're in a relegation fight. And Chelsea are playing Newcastle. And I expect Chelsea to win. So I expect Liverpool and Tottenham to win on the weekend, which means that we have to win our game, because if results go against us, we could end up being fifth this weekend, and that would be terrible. You know, especially after being third for a couple of weeks now, and it will mean that top four won't be in our hands anymore. So we need to win this game. You know what I'm saying? And it's going to be tough, man. You know, Villa are not on the best of forms right now. They lost their last two matches, I believe. Unai Emery has never won at Old Trafford. And the last manager, we said that about, David Moyes. Look what he went and done. Villa are still a good team. They've still got top players. Obviously, they beat us earlier on in the season at Villa Park. So yeah, it's going to be a difficult game, man. But we're at home. It's our first game back at Old Trafford since the Crystal Palace game. Yeah, we haven't played in so long. It feels like our last home game was ages ago, man. Like, it's so mad, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, we're at home. It's on a Sunday, 2 o'clock kickoff. Aston Villa are playing in Europe a couple of days before. So again, that could play into our hands, you know, because I believe that Unai Emery, he's going to go all out for that Europa League trophy. You know, that's his trophy. And for a club like Aston Villa, finishing 5th or 6th and winning the Europa, that would be an amazing season for them. You know, there's no pressure on them to finish at the top 4, because they're not levels, you know, they're not, Aston Villa are not known to spend a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? So if anything, Man United, Liverpool, Chelsea, they're more under pressure to finish in the top 5 than Aston Villa. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, man, it's a game that we need to win. We can't afford to lose this game, because I do expect teams around us to win their games. And the last thing we want to do is like top 4, top 5 not being in our hands, because we could possibly end up being 6th by the end of the weekend. So it's a massive win, man. We also need to bounce back after our defeat against Newcastle. You know, I spoke about that in my match reaction. Yeah, you always want to bounce back from a defeat. That's something we've done pretty well this season. I think we're yet to lose consecutive games, you know, this season. You know, we usually lose one game and then we win the other. So we're good at bouncing back, you know, this season. You know, the stats will tell you, and we need to do that again against Aston Villa. Yeah, we need to bounce back against Aston Villa. We're at that time of the season where I'm depending on players like Cunha and Bruno. You know, I love those guys. I think they're going to go on to be great players at this football club. I'm happy with them. But this period, we need them. You know, they need to prove why we spent all that money on them. To be fair, Mbeumo's our top goal scorer, but this season, like March, April, it's crunch time. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is where the season, like, serious. You know what I'm saying? And starting from this game. So, Mbeumo, Konya, we need them to deliver. They haven't scored in a few games now, and just hopefully they can get back on the score sheet. Konya loves playing against Aston Villa. You know, he's got a good record against them. You know, even going back to his Wolves days. So we're gonna need him, you know, to have that same energy in this game on Sunday. It's gonna be interesting to see what Carrick does. You know, does he bring Ahmad back into the team? Does he drop Sesko? I did say I wanted Sesko to start, but I feel like when Sesko starts, we lose our fluidity a little bit. You know, when Sesko starts, like, I feel like we have to play more direct, like put crosses into the box, play to his strengths. You know, with Ahmad and Mbeumo, Konya, we see the way they like to interchange. You know what I'm saying? It's more fluid, but let's see what Carrick does, man. And yeah, let's win this game. I think there's 9 games left in the season. I think we're about 5 or 6 wins away from getting Champions League football. So let's make it happen, man. Like, we need Champions League football this season. Like, no Champions League football 3 seasons in a row would be a disaster. You know, all the money we've spent, you know, like being in the top 4 for so long, like the last couple of months, it's in our hands. Let's make it happen, man. Starting with this Aston Villa game, which is not going to be easy, because we know Emery's going to set his team up to be hard to beat. Aston Villa are always a threat with the players they have, but we're at home. Even though we lost, we have been in good form recently. So let's get back to winning ways against Aston Villa, man. And that's my match preview for the game. Thank you to everybody watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll catch you on the next video, man. Love.